What's going on, guys? Aaron Goldson here. So I just wanted to make a video going out over the pros and cons of Amazon dropshipping. So a lot of you guys know I do over $1 million a year in sales dropshipping on Amazon. I make over $100,000 a year dropshipping on Amazon. If we go to my Amazon store, you could see for the day I'm at over $5,000 in sales a day, sold 78 products, then over $194,000 in sales in the last 30 days. I spend about an hour a day working on this business because I have systems and team members in place that help automate the majority of it. So because of that, I'm pretty qualified, I would say, to be able to share this information with you. And it's important when you're watching videos that you learn from someone that's actually doing it. See a lot of people out there on the internet, they're teaching theory and stuff, but they don't actually do it. If you want to learn something, I find someone that is in the space that I want to learn and has gotten really good results. That way they're not teaching me theory. That way they're not teaching me something that worked 5 years ago that might not be working now. I want someone that's in the trenches, that's doing the work so they understand what's working now and they can share with me exactly what to do to get the results that I want. So in this video, I just want to go over some of the pros and cons of dropshipping on Amazon. This really applies to 2021 and beyond. And what else I should kind of point out before we dive into it is I'm going to share stuff with you that other people probably won't. I'm going to share with you some of the cons, some of the stuff that a lot of people don't want to talk about when it comes to drop shipping on Amazon. They kind of want to ignore it. I've watched a bunch of videos from people. I don't see people talking about, it sounds like they just talk about all the good stuff. They don't talk about all the bad stuff. So let's go ahead and dive into it. First, let's start off with the good stuff. So there are benefits to drop shipping on Amazon. One of the benefits is we are using Amazon's platform. We don't have to go out there and get websites on our own, or we don't have to go out there and get customers on our own. If we're going to start a Shopify store or our own website, we're going to have to drive traffic and kind of build up a brand and build up customer and get customers to trust us. With Amazon, when you are a seller on Amazon, you are the credibility that Amazon has passes on to you a decent amount because you're a seller on their platform. The customer base that Amazon has, you get that. That passes on to you. That's one of the reasons so many people like using Amazon because it's or selling on Amazon because it's so massive. They have so many customers and we're just kind of tapping into that. We don't have to go create our own customers. We're just using the customers that are already on Amazon. That's one of the big benefits. The other benefit is it's 100% online. That's a big benefit as well. I mentioned this in another video, but you know, the problem with the brick and mortar business is it might be really good in the location for a while, but after some time, it might not be good anymore. In one of the previous videos I talked about, I was listening to the Grant Cardone. You know, he talks about everyone was living in New York, and now, especially when the virus started in 2020, a lot of people are moving out of New York. So if markets shift and things like that shift, it's not like it's an apartment building or there's nothing wrong with apartment buildings or brick and mortar businesses, but it's like if a lot of people move from over here to over here and you're selling on Amazon, they're going to keep buying stuff on Amazon regardless. They're going to keep buying pretty much the same amount of stuff generally. So instead of shipping it to their home over here, you're just going to ship it to their new home over here. That's one of the other benefits. The other big benefit is it is online. I haven't seen anyone talk about this, but when the virus started in the beginning of 2020, that scared a lot of people from making traditional businesses, from going out there, from opening up a brick and mortar business, worried that the government was going to come in and say, listen, we're shutting your business down. You're still expected to somehow make rent and pay the insurance and do all these things, even though, there might be things in place that, if no one can pay their rent, but it's like a whole thing. You don't have to worry about any of that though. What's nice about Amazon is it's 100% online. You don't have to worry about that. In the beginning of 2020, when the virus started and they shut everything down, excuse me guys, my business picked up. It picked up. More people were staying home, getting stimulus checks, and they were using those stimulus checks to buy stuff online instead of going to the mall, instead of going to, physical stores, Target, Walmart, Costco, Sam's Club, Best Buy. They were going to Amazon.com. They were buying from me. Those are big benefits. Those are very, very big benefits. One of the other benefits of the drop shipping model in and of itself is you don't risk buying products up front. In a traditional business, if we were going to open up a traditional business, how it would work is we might go get a physical building. We might go get a physical location. And we might call it, my name's Aaron Goldston. And I don't know what your name is, but let's say it's Aaron and so-and-so's products. And we might have to go sign a lease at this physical location for first and last month's rent. And rent could be maybe $5,000 plus a month, right? Maybe we spend first and last month's rent in the security deposit. Maybe it's $13,000 what we would have to pay to get this physical location. We might have to get insurance for the location. We might have to have remodelers come in, and we might spend tens of thousands of dollars getting the inside remodeled, having to get a big sign up front. And this is normal stuff. If you shop around at businesses, this is what they have. They have signs up front. They probably have insurance. They probably have to sign first and last month's rent. They probably have employees they got to pay. They got to worry about, customers and employees walking into the store and stealing from them. There's all those things they have to worry about. Some of the other things is they have to buy products up front, right? If we were going to start our own kind of store, let's say we were going to sell we were just going to sell like trinkets. Let's say we were just going to sell trinkets and kind of, cool things. One of the things we wanted to sell was coffee mugs. Well, in order to sell coffee mugs, we'd have to contact the manufacturer or a wholesaler. We might have to buy 100, 500, maybe 5,000 coffee mugs up front. We'd have to spend money, potentially thousands of dollars up front, send it to the wholesaler. We'd have to wait for them to package and ship the coffee mugs to us. And then once we get the coffee mugs, we'd have to cross our fingers and toes and hope that we made a good decision and hope that people that come into our store are going to like the coffee mugs, are going to want to buy the coffee mugs, are going to want to buy the coffee mugs at the price that we have it listed for, and that we're going to be able to sell enough of them and sell all of them. Those are some of the risks of a traditional business. We don't have to worry about any of that. We don't have a physical location. We don't, we don't have to buy products up front. How dropshipping works is we just list products. You get a pro subscription to Amazon. It's like $39.97 or $39.99 a month. It's basically $40 a month. You give Amazon $40 a month. You can list as many products as you want. I have over 5,900 products listed on my Amazon store. You list as many products as you want. It doesn't cost any additional money to list any extra products when you have the pro subscription. And then you don't have to spend any money up front till one of your products sells. So you have a product listed on your Amazon store. Maybe it's listed there for 3 months. Finally, someone buys it. Whenever they buy the product and they spend this much money, you go to the supplier. You buy the product for a lower dollar amount. You ship it to the customer. You don't have to store the product. There's no warehouse costs. The shipping cost is paid for. It's free. It's usually included. Like when you buy products from Walmart, which is a big company that we use to drop ship, a lot of those products are free. Or a lot of the products to ship is free. Walmart pays for shipping. Or if Walmart charges for shipping, we know that, and then we include that in the price when we list it. So maybe the price of the product at Walmart's $10. Shipping's $5.99, so really it's $15.99. We make sure when we list the item on Amazon, we consider shipping and the price of the product. So after we sell the product, even after Amazon fees, and us paying for the product plus the shipping, we still make a profit. So it's almost impossible to lose money when you're drop shipping on Amazon, especially if you have a good software that reprices everything, because you don't actually spend money on the product up front till someone goes to your Amazon store, or they just see your product on Amazon. They buy the product from you. Amazon says, woohoo, you made a sale. You just got $50. And then, you go to Walmart, you buy the product for $35. You ship it right to the customer. The customer's happy. They got the product that they wanted. And you're happy because you made the difference in price of what you sold the item for on Amazon and what it cost you to buy the product. So that's some of the pros. There's a lot of pros when it comes to drop shipping on Amazon, which is why it's such an attractive business model. There are some cons though. Let's talk about some of the cons. Let's be honest and let's talk about some of the cons. One of the cons is Amazon typically doesn't pay you or me. They don't pay us for around 2 to 3 weeks. Generally, how it works is you sell the item. As soon as the customer buys the item, that money is in your account. It shows that, okay, the customer bought the item, here's the money, but it takes about 3 weeks for Amazon to release that money to you and deposit it in your checking account. Typically, how it works is it's whatever the last day that the item was supposed to get to the customer, 7 days after the last day is when Amazon gives you the money. So let's say it's the last day the customer buys the item, and you say in 2 weeks. The longest time frame it'll take me to get the item to you is 2 weeks. So after that 2 weeks, you add on another 7 days, 21 days, 3 weeks, that's when Amazon releases the money to you. So because of that, you do need to have money up front to buy the products. Now, you either need money up front or you could use good credit. There's people that have gotten business loans. There's people you can get good credit cards and you could finance it on credit cards. Or, like me, if you have bad credit, you could just use cash. You could use money that you have in your checking account. That's what I used. A few years ago, I was dead broke. I was getting $35 Bank of America overdraft letters in the mail. I found kind of a business that I could use that was it was a business that required me to put in a lot of time, but it allowed me to make pretty good money. I was making about $150,000 a year, which was nice. I went from making $11 at my job to my first full year doing this new business. I made $184,000. The problem with it is I was being self-employed. Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, I was self-employed. The business relied on me. But I did that up front. I stacked a bunch of money. I lived below my means. I saved a bunch of money. And all that money I saved, I then used that money to fund the Amazon business. That's basically the avenue I went, because with the Amazon business, you can use software and you can hire virtual assistants, so you can help, semi or almost fully automate the Amazon business, which is why I'm able to work about an hour a day now on the Amazon business, because I have a team of virtual assistants and I have a really, really, really good software that I use that does all the repricing, and it does basically pretty much everything else that I needed to do, plus a lot more that I didn't even know it did. That just makes my life even easier. But that is one of the cons. You are going to need to fund the money up front. Now, you don't need $100,000 to get started. I know people that got started, they had like $5,000, $10,000 saved. With money like that, they weren't doing $100,000 a month. But even if you just have 5 to 10 grand saved, or you could get a business loan for 5 to 10 grand, borrow 5 to 10 grand from someone, or, if you have decent credit, you got a credit card, you could, when you buy the products from Walmart, you could just put it on your credit card. The credit card payment is due it's due in about a month. Well, you'll get the payment from Amazon within the month, and then you can use, Amazon will pay you within about 3 weeks, and then you'll use that money to just pay off the credit card. That's how it works. So there are ways around it, but one of the downsides is you are going to need some money for it. That's how it works. You are going to need some money for it. And I'd recommend at least 5 to 10 grand. If you had 20 to 30 grand, then you could really, really crank. Really, really crank. You could kind of be moving. The more money is typically the better. What are some of the other downsides? One of the other downsides, I'm being honest with you guys, Amazon is okay with you drop shipping from certain places. They don't like the fact if you drop ship from other places. They don't want you drop shipping from retailers like Walmart. They don't like that. Drop shipping is 100% legal. It is 100% legal. You go hire an attorney and ask them. It's 100% legal. Amazon, though, just in the platform that they have, they don't necessarily like it. If you're drop shipping from retailers. But, kind of like how it goes, right? It's really hard to make okay or even decent money drop shipping from like places that Amazon likes. It's a lot easier to make a lot more money a lot quicker drop shipping from places like Walmart that Amazon doesn't necessarily like. So because of that, you really want to keep your account in good standing. You really want to keep your account in good standing because it can be hard to get it back if your account gets suspended and you're drop shipping from retailers. We all know what year it is, right? People have been drop shipping on Amazon from retailers like Walmart since 2013, 2014. So it's a business model that works. Thousands of people do it. There are thousands, there's probably tens of thousands, but I know for a fact there's at least thousands and thousands of people that do it. It can make it work. It's just something you have to be aware of. If you're going to drop ship from retailers, it is a little gray hat. Something to be aware of. What are some of the other negatives to it? One of the other negatives is that there's always a percentage of customers that are going to say they didn't get your product, when in fact, they got it. They're just lying. They're just lying. It's not a big percent. If it was a big percent, no one, all of us drop shippers would have to raise our prices a lot to make up for it. But there's always going to be a small percentage of people that are going to say they didn't get the item, even though they got the item. I know they got the item. They know they got the item. The shipping says it was shipped directly to them, to their address. They got the item. They're just saying it because they want to get free money. And one of the downsides to drop shipping on Amazon is Amazon does not care about you. They do not care about me. They do not care about sellers. They care about customers. So if the customer goes to Amazon and they say, Amazon, I didn't get the product, even though the tracking shows it was shipped to them, even if it's signature confirmation, I had a package, where it was on FedEx or UPS. It was like a $600 package. And it showed that the customer signed for the package on the website. The customer told me through a message in Amazon, they said, the item got shipped to me. And they said something like, I signed for the package. But as soon as I signed for it, the driver got a call from you. You told them not to deliver it, so they took the package back, and I don't have it. I want a refund. That's what they said to me, even though the tracking showed it was delivered. They basically made a claim on Amazon, and even though I had all this proof that the package was shipped directly to their address, the customer even signed for it. When the customer signs for it, it's like the responsibility is like instantly released and the package is given to the customer. What the person said it pretty much could not have happened. It was just a complete lie. However, Amazon sided with the customer and gave them like the $600. They took it out of my pay. I lost about $600 on that product. That's how it works. So one of the other downsides is you have to understand that stuff like this happens, and you're probably going to lose. You're not probably. When you start doing volume, you're going to lose some money. That's how it works. Now, you're going to make money. If you do everything right, you're going to make money. Like I have a budget now. I put $500 to $800 aside a month where I know that I'm going to lose some cases like that. Okay? And I'm doing about $10,000 a month in profit. I'm doing about $10,000 a month in profit. And I already have it that every month, about $500 to $800 a month, I'm going to just have to give back to customers. Because there's going to be a percentage of customers. They're going to fight me. They're either going to open up claims. And I'm just going to have to give them their money back to keep, this is a little bit more advanced, but to keep my metrics basically safe or kind of at a safe route. And even though it's not my fault, I'm going to have to eat the price. That's how it is. In a traditional business, guys, people are going to walk into your store and steal from you. Dan Kennedy says that in a traditional business, employee theft is about 500% higher than regular theft. So you own a 7-Eleven, person says they're going to drop off, 12 packages of Coca-Cola. They only drop off, they say they only drop off 10. They keep 2 for themselves, but they say they dropped off 12. So there's all this internal theft. I just look at it as, a regular business has employee theft and it has customer theft. This is just the theft that I'm going to have to deal with. It's what you have to deal with it, right? There's no business out there that's perfect. Some people are looking for the perfect business, and those people usually never start a business and never make the amount of money they want because there's no perfect business. There's pros and cons to each. I'm just giving you some of the cons. The other thing is you got to keep real track of your metrics. Like if you sell items on eBay and you get some negative feedback, it can make you not like the top-rated seller, but it's not necessarily going to shut your account down. If you get too many negative feedbacks too quickly, that could shut your account down. So you really got to kind of do things to, try to keep customers happy, even if you got to take a hit every now and then and refund the customer their money. And usually I don't sell $600 items. It might be a $50 item I got to refund, or an $80 item here or there. But, there's things you got to do like that to kind of think longevity and try to keep your account in good standing. But you really have to pay attention to your account health. Amazon's really, really strict with it. They basically give you a 1% mess up percent. And if you go above 1%, your account can become at risk of getting shut down. So you really have to do things that are you really have to kind of be aware of what's going on and kind of be on top of it. Let's see. Then there's returns. Now, returns are actually not that big of a deal. Some people, there was an update in the middle of like 2020 where returns get automatically approved and sent back to your address. There's a way to override that with the software I use. There's basically a file you can upload into your seller account that will override it. How returns work is a customer wants to do a return. They say, you know what? They can do a return for any reason. They don't like the item. The item's broken. They can just not like the item, but returns are actually not that big of a deal. Customer says they didn't like the item. You just go to Walmart and you get a return label. Walmart will pay for the return. You don't have to pay for the return. Walmart will give you a prepaid return label. You'll upload that return label you'll give it to the customer inside Amazon. You'll say, hey, sorry you didn't like the item. Here's a prepaid return label. It's free for you. Just take this label, stick it on the outside of the box, drop it off at FedEx. You don't have to pay for anything, and the package will get shipped back to us, and we'll give you a refund. They'll go to FedEx. They'll drop it off at FedEx. FedEx will ship it back to Walmart.com. When Walmart.com gets it back in their warehouse, Walmart.com will refund you, and then you'll just refund the customer. So that's how that works. So when you do returns right, you pretty much never lose money on them. You pretty much never lose money on refunds. And when you get a little bit more advanced, you can sometimes even in that first scenario I told you about where customers lie, sometimes you can even get that fixed. I've had times where customers say they didn't get the item, and then I will have my assistant, or one of my virtual assistants, they'll go to Walmart, they'll say, hey, we didn't get the item, and there's sometimes we'll get Walmart to refund us. Even though it says it was delivered, every now and then you can get them to refund you. You can get them to refund you, then you can refund the customer, so it's kind of like the customer, they know what they're doing, they kind of got what they wanted, they got their money back, but you got your money back so it didn't negatively affect your account at all. So you can do things like that, which is kind of nice. It doesn't happen all the time, but there has been multiple times where I've done that as well. So it's like the customer was trying to do a scam. My ego wants me to tell the customer how I really feel, but I can't do that because then they'll go complain to Amazon. They'll do a claim. It's going to hurt my account. They're going to take money out of my account anyway. So if I can get a refund from Walmart and then I can just refund the customer doesn't do anything, so it doesn't hurt my account metrics at all. The customer gets refunded, I get refunded from Walmart, and everything breaks even. So that's some of the things to think about. It's not all pros, right? There's no business. Guys, if there was a business out there that was super easy, there were no problems, there was all benefits and no downsides, everyone would be doing it. A business out there is not like that. With dropshipping, there's pros and there's cons, just like with any business. But I mean, it's been, and this last year, it's been working out pretty good for me so far. I've been drop shipping for a little bit more than, I believe it's been about a year and a half now since I've been drop shipping, and it's worked out. Last month I did $10,000 in profit after all expenses, even after having to give some refunds. The month before that, I did about $10,000 in profit again, working 100% from my computer, 100% online, working about an hour a day. So there are pros and cons to everything. I mean, I think about some of the cons in this business. There's things I don't like about it. There's things I wish I could change. There's lots of things that makes me nervous about it, especially the account health. You got to really be on top of that. I mean, and it can change really quick if you make a few mistakes. So there's cons, but there are pros to it as well. So hopefully this video was a little longer, but I really wanted to dive into the pros and cons. That way, if you're really thinking about drop shipping on Amazon, nothing's held back. You know about the pros, but you also know about the cons, and you can make an educated decision if drop shipping is something that is right for you and you think you might want to look into more or possibly pursue. My name is Aaron Goldston. Have a good day or evening or whatever time you're watching this.